Greetings, people of YouTube. It is I, the Epic Voice Guy, and one of my Patreon supporters, Mr. Bill Man Warren.
Hello.
Thanks for coming on, bud.
How you doing?
Uh, cold. Extremely
Yes.
cold. It's
Yeah,
about
it's
15 degrees. We actually got some snow. It's a little late for Christmas.
yeah, it's the same here.
I'm waiting for the stream to actually start on. There's always that delay
Yep.
of 30 seconds or so because I have to mute myself before I start hearing double again.
I can't see anything.
There we go. Aha. What's up, fellas? Now I can see the screen, and Bill's with me, and you could be on here too, by the way, if you want to join me for a live stream. I posted my schedule on the Facebook page, facebook.com/epicvoiceguy. I will be doing a Skype chat the first Sunday of every month, a live show like this one the second Sunday of every month, live gaming on the third Sunday of every month, and playing online with all of you lovely people on the last Saturday night of every month. That way, I'm doing one of each perk for all you people who are supporting. And my support is dwindling. It's down to only a couple of $100 a month. I didn't have that much support in the first place. But if you want to go support me to help create this content, then hopefully make this channel something, you can go to patreon.com/epicvoiceguy. It's pretty easy to remember. No, this is not the gaming. Sorry, Redskin. That would be the first Sunday of the month, and this is the second. So this is just that's third. That's next week, next Sunday. And I'm right in the middle of getting ready to move, so I won't have this setup in this room anymore after today. Next time I stream live, I will be streaming from Los Angeles, and I have to figure out a way to get all of this equipment to Los Angeles without paying a small fortune. I don't think I can get this mic stand and the iMac and the microphone all in a duffel bag and get it on a plane, unfortunately. Hello, Caleb. Hello, Kristen. Hello, Dead Space Raccoon. Dead Space Raccoon. Return of the Awesomeness. I don't know if I missed anybody. Hello, Devin Colson. Devin Colson finally made it to a live show. Look at you. That must have been on your list of New Year's resolutions, because every time he always misses it. I can't tell if that says Gian. Must be say Blames. Waiting on an epic voice to say ... It doesn't say what to say. Hey, Frank, what's up, buddy? Antoine, Fami, the YouTube Vigilante or Vigilante. And it's John without an H, by the way. Jon is short for Jonathan. That's why I go by Jon. And nobody spells Jonathan the same way anymore, so I shortened it down. I did a voice for the Dead Space 2 trailer. I was the captain of the way station Romeo at the beginning of that one. Zane Z, Shock Blaster, Iron Yoda 2, I notice you. I am the Senpai. Nick Nichols. Hearing in the commercials, I recognize you most of the time. I recognize you most of the time. 60% of the time, I recognize you every time. What's up, Justin McLeroy? I was almost at McElroy. Do the honest trailer voice, says this guy who thinks he owns me. Filter Dreckie and Isaac Ramos. Hello from Puerto Rico. Have I voiced any movie trailer? See, this is what bothers me. You have the information of the internet at your fingertips, folks. It would take you 2 seconds to do a little Google research on John Bailey. I've done several hundred movie trailers, and not including any honest trailers whatsoever. I've done I'm pushing 4,000 projects total already, and I have 2 big video games coming out this year. Unfortunately, even though one of them releases the last week of February, the cast list still has not been posted to IMDb, so I still can't say anything. I'm voicing a really cool villain in a game that is a sequel to a very popular game that's a spin-off of a huge franchise from Microsoft. So it's complicated. It is coming for you, and it won't stop until it has what it wants. Bethany. Okay, that was a weird one. Just this one name. My voice is too good. It shouldn't have a price on it. Oh, but it does. It has a price. Or else I cannot pay the bills, unfortunately. Will I ever play some Five Nights at Freddy's live? No, not yet. I don't have I have an iMac. I did get a new computer with your Patreon support for those of you who helped me out. But the iMac, it's not exactly for playing any games on. So I have not got
no, not yet. I don't have a
You gotta mute that, Bill.
Sorry about that, buddy.
That's all good. Now you can read the comments too, at least.
Yes.
So I still need to get a gaming PC, and I'm either going to build one that's going to be stationary or get a new laptop. My Surface Pro keeps deleting files, and I finally figured out what it is. Somehow it's selecting when I'm deleting files off that I don't need any longer. It's selecting folders where I keep everything and deleting the entire folder. And by the time I've stopped it, it's already deleted way too much stuff that's important. Do I remember you, Gino? Dude, if you knew how many people that I meet or talk to online, sorry, buddy. I'm very bad with names. I'm better with faces, but when you guys all use little icons for your images, I can't remember all that. I'm sorry. I'm an old man. I can't remember anything. What do I think of Road Run? I think you need to start watching my videos, what I think. What type of music do I like? I like movie scores. I like acapella, Weird Al Yankovic. I also enjoy Owl City. Who Loves the Flash Show? I still like the Flash Show. I just wish they would quit repeating themselves in every single season, as I've said before in my review. This shirt is from my former sponsor, RippedApparel.com, who no longer sponsors me. I'm sponsorless now. What's in store for Transformers for me? Well, I am boxing up every Transformer that I own and shipping them to myself in LA, so videos will be coming again. I just have to spread them out a little more because now that I work for Hasbro's Optimus Prime, I have to get anything Transformers related approved. So, no, I don't know who you are, Frank James Bailey. Well, it's been a while since I've done a live stream, Gino, so that makes sense. My favorite 90s cartoon, man, that's tough because 90s was such a great decade for cartoons. Batman the Animated Series and Pinky and the Brain and Freakazoid are kind of tied for me. Am I watching the Golden Globes tonight? No. I have all of the children. My wife's out of town. She went on one last little vacation away from the kids before I moved to LA. We're doing a soft move first and then a full-on move. So I'm going to be going alone at first and feeling out areas, locations. I have a place to stay for the next couple of months. And after that, I need to find an apartment or a rented house big enough for all of us. And we don't really know what kind of budget we're going to have to be able to do that. So, ludicrous speed. In what media as Optimus? Oh, I'm the voice of Optimus Prime in Transformers Combiner Wars, if you did not know. My top most anticipated movies of this year, dude. I don't even know what movies come out this year off the top of my head right now. I'm exhausted. My kids are running me ragged. Animaniacs is great, but I like Pinky and the Brain. I like the spinoff better than the actual show. I missed something. Some comment there. John is love. John is life. What do I think will win best comedy / musical at the Golden Globes? Probably La La Land. I haven't even seen it yet, but from what I see of everyone else who says about it, yes, Wonder Woman does come out this year. I have high hopes for that one. I don't know if you've been asked, but what would be my dream job? To book a recurring main character in an animated series, a network animated series that lasts longer than 3 seasons, because that's where the residuals come from. So yeah. What about the Justice League pick that was released? I have been packing for LA. I haven't really been on social media other than to post stuff for you guys, so I haven't paid attention to the news. I haven't seen anything. I haven't watched any new trailers lately. After I get moved there and get situated, which shouldn't take me more than a few days, I will get on to a regular scheduled YouTube schedule, a regular schedule. Allow myself to introduce myself. My thoughts on Justice League coming out this year. I still think DC is rushing into Justice League because they want to keep up with Marvel and they're behind. So that's why they crammed 6 movies into Batman versus Superman, which is why it didn't do as well as it should have. The Cars 3 trailer, yes, I did watch that with Greg, and that was intense. I have been very busy lately, Gino. Extremely busy. What have you been up to, Bill? How was your New Year's?
New Year's was cold. Just
and you know, it's actually really warm here. We didn't get anything. We didn't get any cold weather until this past week. And New Year's, I did nothing. I didn't get to kiss anybody on midnight. I didn't have anything to drink. No champagne.
Me either.
No sparkling cider. No soda.
No, I didn't have anything either.
5 months.
No, we just stayed in.
Did I hear about Fort Lauderdale airport shooting? Yeah, I know, right? It only took them 1 week in 2017 before we had our first shooting this year. It's just sad. But so far we haven't lost any major iconic celebrities yet, so fingers crossed. Once I'm in LA, life slows down a little. You know what? I've only been on the Schmo stuff like once, so I'm willing whenever I get over there. Whatever they want me to do, I'm happy for. How did I get into voice acting? That's a good question, YouTube Vigilante, although it's posted on the internet. The short version of it was back when MySpace was the dominating social media. My wife made me a page because she was bored at home when she was pregnant with our first child or second child. I can't really remember. I think it was the first one. And no, it wasn't. It was it was pregnant with our third child. Yeah, it was. I think so. Anyways, we have a lot of kids. And so she made this page for me while I was at work. I was the kitchen manager at Chick-fil-A, and she happened to put in my interests. Back then they put it with keywords. Basically, it's the same thing as YouTube uses, those search phrases. And so that was what the pop-up ads were based on, was what your interests were. And when I first checked it out, one of the pop-up ads that came on, and thank goodness back then they didn't block pop-up ads, because I would have probably gotten into this job. An ad popped up for a company called Studio Center, which had several locations across the country, but one happened to be very close to me. And we didn't think our area had anything like that. And my wife's like, oh, she knew how good I was at voices. She's like, you should go down there and try out. And I was like, that's stupid. She's the worst they can do is say no. What do you got to lose? And that's totally true. I mean, I didn't have anything else to lose. It wasn't that far away. I wouldn't have lost any gas money. I lost a few minutes of my time, and that's pretty much it. So I went down and tried out. They liked me. They signed me. I booked my first gig 1 week after I got my first. Well, 2 weeks after I got my first audition. No, I take that back. I got my first audition. No, that was right. I got my first audition February 1st, and by February 11th, I'd already booked my first gig. And I booked 1 or 2 a month, just doing it part time. I still worked a full time job. I'd moved on to forklift work at that point. And then 2007, I'd started doing YouTube stuff. And by 2011, I believe it was, my first manager spotted me on YouTube. And so did the guys from Honest Trailers. And my first manager put me in touch with my current manager, who put me with my agency. So now I'm with the same agents that represents Frank Welker. Well, they used to represent Frank Welker. Greg Berger, David Soboleff, the majority of the cast of the new Voltron cartoon. They represent tons of people. The Lauderhouse on Nickelodeon, they represent just about everybody. Kari Wahlgren, I see her over there all the time. My buddy Adam from Star vs. Force of Evil, and Eric Lopez, Blue Beetle from Young Justice. There's lots of many of the famous people. Nolan North is with CESD. And my manager books me on a ton of sound-alikes for movie trailers. I fill in for a lot of celebrities. I still do a lot of movie trailer voiceover work, commercial work, and now animated work too. And his video game stuff started back in 2012, I guess, with XCOM. So Horatio wants me to do Christopher Walken, but I don't know if you can afford it. So I will follow up that comment with what Adam said. Suck me. Anyways, Tamara, as deadly hot in person as she is, she's adorable. But I think of her as a little sister more than super hot person, because I'm married and that'll get me in trouble if I say things. I am very excited about Tim Miller directing Deadpool. That they got rid of that just happened to be a lucky coincidence that they got rid of the guy that was going to do it, because he was like, I don't want to do this, I quit, and they got somebody better. No, everybody. Okay. I feel like I should have to say this again, because maybe some of you are new. Maybe some of you just don't know. Maybe some of you get tired of asking the crew at Honest Trailers for things and then they ignore you. Well, they have a huge channel with millions and millions of subscribers and millions of views. I have nothing to do with Honest Trailers except for being the voice. I have a contract with them to read the scripts and all the other small things that they have me do, including all the other channels that Defy Media owns, which is the Warp Zone, Smosh Games, all those guys that I help with. I just do voices for them, guys. I don't write the comments. I don't pick the comments. I don't write the trailers. I ad-lib sometimes when we do the script, and sometimes they leave some of my jokes in, but I do not have anything to do with the writing or the editing or the choice of movie or show or the comments at the end. So asking me is just wasting your time. So if you guys would spend 2 seconds to read the description of the videos, you'd find out who's in charge, and you can go stalk those guys and ask them all you want. Where can I get a nerd crate? I don't know. I don't get them. I've been brown nosing Loot Crate for 2 years and I haven't got nothing yet. The Lego movie, no, not really. The Lego Batman movie is just, you know, my son's pretty addicted to all of the DC Lego animated things, so I've kind of had my fill of Lego stuff. I think it'll be okay, but I like the other Lego movie better because it's got multiple properties. We don't know what's in store. I'm sure it'll be funny. Sacrifice all the children. I'm the one with the voice. Oh, with the Joker voice. I am one with the Force is with me. How did I get with Screen Junkies? I just told you that, Purple Epicon. I was doing YouTube videos back in 2007 and in 2008 or late 2000s. Yeah, I think it was 2008. I made this thing called Movie Men Tribute, which is like 5 of my favorite different movie trailer voices. And that was the same one that my first manager found me on that got me into movie trailers in the first place. So by the time I had already had several hundred trailers under my belt, I had linked my website with that video because it had decent views. And Andy Signor, the guy who created Honest Trailers and still has final say on the writing and the editing, he spotted that video doing some searches because the original voice who'd done the first dozen had gotten called into active service. And so he was looking for a movie trailer type guy. He saw my video. He's like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then he looked at the link in the video description, which is what you guys should all do if you figure out all these answers. And he clicked on the website. He's like, oh, this guy actually does trailers for a living. So it was really, he thought it would be really cool to have a guy who does movie trailers for already to do their fake movie trailers. And that's how it came to be. And I've been there with him almost 4 years, I guess. Do an impersonation of Gary Oldman's Dracula. You know what? It's been a seriously long time since I watched that movie. I don't even remember what that sounds like. I've already watched Rogue One and reviewed it, DJG Kid. You should watch my other videos. I don't know why some of you only watch the live things, because I do read all the comments, even the stupid troll hater ones. So watch my reviews, watch my videos. You'll find out all the things that I think about things.
When do you think we'll get a trailer for episode 8?
Oh, probably timed very well with another big blockbuster film, I would assume.
Hopefully. I figured Rogue One would have had it, but
no, I think that was probably too soon. They usually start really promoting really hard, like 3 months till. But I know that I actually booked some VO for some of the Rogue One trailers. I think it was it was one of the rebel leaders in the bunker. It was his voice. It was like, you can't trust her, she's a rebel, or something like that. I forget. Anyways, but I know we started recording those, and the spots were out within 3 months. So they record them fairly soon. So I'll know about when I start getting auditions for it. I'll know that the trailers are coming within 3 months or so. No, still haven't watched La La Land. I did watch Underworld. I will be watching. I'll be reviewing Underworld on Patreon only. That'll be an exclusive for Patreon supporters. So if you want to go see my honest review of Underworld, you can go to patreon.com/epicvoiceguy and make a pledge. Help me out. Favorite superhero and supervillain. Supervillain, that one's easy. That's the Joker. But superhero, that's a lot tougher. I've always loved Batman, but the longer I watch these Spider-Man movies and the Captain America movies and Iron Man and all these other ones, it's like, man, there are some good choices out there. So I think I may have changed my answer from Batman to Captain America. I mean, Batman is kind of dark. I like the wholesome guy, minus the whole Hydra thing. Spoilers. That's James might be right. They might post the trailer around the time when the Blu-rays for Rogue One come out. That's very possible. Anyways, excited about Spider-Man: Homecoming. You know, it looks simple. It looks pretty good. I'm better than the old voice. Well, don't tell him that. He's a nice guy. How many movies do I see at the cinemas per week? It just depends on my schedule. And here lately, I haven't had the time. I used to review the new releases every single week and make it, because the only things you guys watch were the Epic Voice reviews. And I'm trying to make this channel more funny things with voices. That's what I always wanted to do. So more impression videos like the Tender Moments with Star Wars. There will be more tender moments with other franchises and TV shows, tender moments with SpongeBob, tender moments with et cetera, et cetera. There will be some nature documentaries done, narrated by famous celebrities / impressions. There will be some fake reviews, things like the Stan Lee deal. But yeah, the movie reviews will just basically be limited to the biggest releases, like Doctor Strange, Wonder Woman, Batman vs Superman. The big ones will still come out. The smaller ones, you can see them on my my Patreon channel, so go check those out. They'll be a little bit shorter and a little less edited, a little less polished. Just me, just raw talking about the that sounds dirty. About the movies and uncut and uncensored. So it's definitely a cool perk to go after. And but yeah, I was watching about 3 to 4 every week, and now I can only do maybe 1 a week. But it's really just limited to the biggest ones. So what I'll probably do is look ahead of the schedule, plan out all the biggest movies of the year that I know will be the ones that'll be high on searches. And then if there's a release that week that, I figure as long as I do one of the exclusive reviews per month for the Patreon supporters. That'll give me more free time to do other things. So, do I like eggs? It depends on how they're cooked, I guess. But I do need the protein, and I have to have a lot of that every day. I have to have 88 ounces of protein a day, which is not easy. Let me tell you. Favorite standalone movie? The Equalizer, but now it has a sequel. So it's no longer a standalone film. Riverdale. I'll watch Riverdale. Not familiar with that one. Say My Name. Gustavus Thor, the Red Hood. Who would I think would win in a fight between Darkseid versus Doomsday versus Thanos? You know what? In that case, I think Darkseid would win. Darkseid he's darker and he's smarter than the other two, I think. I think Thanos and Darkseid would be pretty bad. But Doomsday is pretty mindless. I think they would both take him out pretty easy. Let's see. Have I seen Fences yet? I don't think so. What video game would I like to VO for? All of them. Everyone, because that's work and it helps pay the bills. Oh, thank you, Alan. I appreciate all of the comments that you leave me, sir. Oh, hello, Narth. Do I like Waterworld? You know what? I haven't seen Waterworld since I was a teen or early teen or late kid age. Like 11, 12, 13, 14, somewhere. I don't even remember it. It's been so long. Still watching Arrow. You know, I kind of got bored with it after season 2, so I wait for the seasons to come out on Netflix, and then I binge watch through them. That way I can fast forward through the who loves who, who's lying to who. Because seriously, if you took a shot, you drank a shot every single time somebody says something about truth or lying, you would be so wasted within 15 minutes of that show. But yeah, I like the superhero parts, but now it's just so convoluted. I don't know. You know, I didn't like the first John Wick that much, Lord Gutierrez. I thought Equalizer was a better version of that movie, and everybody disagreed with me, and I don't really care because Denzel Washington is by far a much better actor than Keanu Reeves, and he had a lot of cool MacGyver moments, whereas Keanu Reeves is just chop, flip, over and over and over again. Favorite basketball team? Used to be the Magic. Actually, it was the Bulls, and then it was the Magic, but I don't have a favorite anymore. Arrow has gotten pretty horrible. That's true. RM and I, active part of Screen Junkies, are just voice acting for their honest trailers. I believe I just answered this question, G Connection. You should rewind it a little bit because I do have to say that about 15 times a day to people. Do my Shrek voice by saying this, and the Oscar goes to Arrow. You mean Mopey Batman? I think that's Moppy Batman, the way you wrote it. They should use a spell checker. Clearly, the best Ishii show is Goth gets shot. You know what? Gotham got better by the end of the first season, and the second season I thought was pretty good. And then for some reason, it went off the rails and went full 60s campy Batman. I don't know what happened. I just mentioned this earlier, Larry. I just watched the new Underworld movie. I will be reviewing that exclusively on Patreon for my Patreon supporters. Favorite music band and favorite music genre. I like film scores. I've already mentioned this. Owl City, acapella music, and a Weird Al. Weird Al has always been a favorite. The Arnold Schwarzenegger voice and say, bing, bing, bong. Listen to me. You can't bing, bing, bong up in the Arctic. No, you can't do that over there. What about the Blade Runner sequel? Too late. So many of these movies are too late. What is wrong with people? Has Hollywood run out of so many ideas that they literally are grasping at straws to make sequels to movies that are like 10, 20, 30 years old? Because good grief. The Last Airbender is better than The Empire Strikes Back. Said nobody ever, Beltran Clan. Said no one ever. Favorite Resident Evil movie? None of them. But of the bad ones that we got, Resident Evil 2 is the only one that's even close to the actual Resident Evil games. But we are getting a reboot. I don't know if it's been posted or not, so you didn't hear this from me. Resident Evil is being rebooted, taken back to the drawing board, and redone as the game story. About time. Jill Valentine versus zombies, haunted house, the whole shebang. So fingers crossed,
Nice.
They stick to their guns and do it the right way. For Ariopot. You're a Dioga girl. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Westworld. Wow, Josh. None of you watch my. See, when you say comments like that, it just proves to me that none of you watch my videos. You only watch it when I live stream. Go watch my videos. I reviewed my favorite TV shows of 2016. My last review video. Desperation Hollywood is so obvious. And yeah, it really is. Favorite Weird Al song? That's impossible, G. I can't pick his favorite Weird Al song. They're all really good. My new favorite one is gotta be it's tied between Handy and Aluminum Foil. Those are both really good. Epic, what new comedy do I recommend? American Housewife may be fairly tame and family friendly for most of you guys' taste, but that's my favorite comedy show right now because Diedrich Bader, the voice of Batman from Batman Brave and the Bold, a really funny guy, the guy that two chicks at the same time, man, from the Office Space, hilarious, and that show is really, really great. Waiting for the Citizen Kane remake. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Fast and the Furious was a remake of some movie from the 50s, 60s or something like that, like really, really old. I didn't even know. I had no idea. Creativity in Hollywood is dead. Yeah, Hollywood. Canceled TV. I want to come back. Oh man, there's too many. There's way too many good shows that didn't live long enough.
Briscoe County Jr. is one of my favorites.
What was it? Which one?
The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. I always like that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that show. Man. I'm not a sailor, but my friend's a real seaman in a Scottish accent. See, I said what you said, even though you didn't do it right. You should have said "say" in a Scottish accent. Say, then I would have done it the right way. Silicon Valley is pretty good. Actually, you know what? I know what my favorite comedy of all is. I just forgot about it because it's not on the air right now. Man Seeking Woman. That is my favorite comedy on TV. Has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that I do voices on the show. I already did my Shrek voice, Jonathan Peck. What do you think about the Dragon Ball Super Series? I do not watch Dragon Ball. Sorry. But I want a sequel to Spawn. I would rather them reboot it and do it right. But the fan version that was made online that I did the voice of Spawn and Clown for gives me a lot of hope that they could make a really good Spawn movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch Spawn Recall. Look that up on YouTube. That's me as Spawn and me as Clown and various demon creature voices. My favorite TF animation I've worked on. You mean outside of the real series I worked on? Honestly, I think my collabs that I did with the Transformers Badly Animated with my buddy over in the UK, where he did the stop motion stuff, that was actually really good. Brexit or Trump? Oh, don't even. I'm not going to talk politics. I'm so disgusted with politics. No, I have not seen La La Land yet. Am I excited for War of the Planet of the Apes? Yes, I thought all the new Planet of the Apes movies are very well done. No, like the TF parodies. I enjoy making the TF parodies. I would continue making my own if I had somebody to animate for me. Favorite Teen Titan character? Oh, that's a good one. Oh man, that's tough. I guess Raven, because she's cool. She's got the purple cloak, even though it's blue, but it looks purple to me. And purple's my favorite color. Spawn stuff on HBO it was. And Keith David is an amazing voice actor. He was perfect for the voice of Spawn. I was really disappointed that he didn't make it into the Transformers movie. He was supposed to be the original voice of Barricade, and they ended up having Jess Harnell play both Barricade and Ironhide. Apparently only Keith David did the voice in some of the games, and then I don't know what happened. Then they didn't use him in the movies. That ticked me off. I've watched some Archer. It's really funny, but I just don't have the time to watch a lot of TV unless it's on the DVR, and DVR is pretty full as it is. But I did audition for it once. I was fingers crossed. I mean, Atlanta's not too far from here, but it's going to be a lot further now. DuckTales is back, yes, and I'm disappointed I didn't book the character that I auditioned for the series, but I knew about it before you guys did. You guys got to keep in mind, I auditioned for stuff like I knew how bad Fantastic Four was a year before it even came out. I just wasn't allowed to say anything. It's called non-disclosure agreements. Westworld worth watching? You can leave now, Dimbus. Stone him. The favorite honest trailer that I worked on, because I actually did write on that one, but not only that, because it was the dumbest good movie ever made, was Pacific Rim. Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go? Teen Titans. Sorry. My kids love Teen Titans Go, and it is pretty funny. It's one of those few that I can tolerate watching with my kids. Unlike, The Wiggles or something that drives you nuts. But Teen Titans was a really cool show. Already answered the got into voice acting questions, Stan Wilkes. So you'll have to rewind and watch that again. Thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Well, I did work some stuff on that I'm fingers crossed got booked on. So that would be some good paycheck. So I'm obviously happy for that. Unlike everybody else in the world, I did not think Guardians of the Galaxy was the greatest movie ever made or the greatest Marvel movie ever made. I just thought it was more, Men in Black type humor in space. And it was okay for a space movie, but I did not think it was this generation's Star Wars. So, I mean, it was okay, but I've only watched it like twice. I've watched the Captain America movies way more times than Guardians. So I think Bill might agree with me a little bit, at least.
Yeah, definitely. I love Captain America movies. Those are the best ones so far.
Denzel Washington, yes, absolutely. In fact, I don't think there's hardly any bad Denzel movies because the guy's so great. Good idea for a remake of The Dirty a Dozen. There aren't any good ideas anymore. That's the problem. Can I say abs or boobs? Well, see, it's not boobs, it's beebs. It's beebs and abs. And Morgan Freeman's voice, say you either get busy living or get busy dying. A Deadpool animated TV show. No, they put Deadpool and Spider-Man once, and it was so tame it just wouldn't be the same. And there's no way they're going to put an animated Deadpool on Disney XD or Nick without cutting the balls off of it. So if they were going to do that, I would prefer them make like an Archer type show of Deadpool where it's on Adult Swim or it's on FX or something. That would be great. I would be for that. Yeah, all day long. Metal Gear Solid, no, I'm fully aware of them, but I've never played. Favorite Quentin Tarantino movie? Oh, why all the hard questions? Reservoir Dogs, I think, is probably my favorite. Star Wars is Christianity in space? I don't think so. There's a lot more than just the Force in that movie, remember? It says Christopher Walken, I'm ready to get swifty in 2017. Rick and Morty season 3. You need to win the lottery so I can pay you to do my answer machine. Yeah, it doesn't cost that much. You need me to record
I've had him do it.
Well, you're a Patreon supporter, so you get it for free. If anybody wants me to do a voicemail under 15 seconds, you can go to a site called Fiverr with 2 R's, fiverr.com/JB voiceover, and you can order 15 seconds of stuff as long as you're not using it for commercial use at all. If it's just for personal use, it's $5 and it goes to charity. It's the only way I can still keep up with all the requests, by the way. So, oh, you're welcome, G. Am I friends with Jeremy? Yeah, Jeremy Johnson's a great dude. I actually got him hooked up one time. I just didn't know he already had a girlfriend. I was like, oops, too late.
Oh, man.
I was like, have you met Ted? I'm not singing. We are number one. Do I like Mad Max? Absolutely. I like the latest one the best, though. Worst animated movie I've ever seen. What was the name of that one? Strange Magic. One of the dumbest animated things I have ever watched. Oh, man. It makes the Disney fairy movies, like the Tinkerbell movies, it makes them look like Oscar winners. The site is fiverr.com/ and has 2 R's, Fiverr, fiverr.com/JB voiceover. I love Westworld. I mentioned that already, Michael. It was in my number 1 best TV show of 2016 in my last Epic Voice review. It's FI, not FY. I will type it in the chat for you people who are having trouble with it. I don't think it'll let me put a link, but I will try. And JB voiceover. There you go. All righty.
Nice.
Jack Bauer or Jason Bourne? Jack Bauer, hands freaking down. Jason Bourne looks way too nice a guy to be a total badass like they make him out to be. It's absolutely possible for this sweet, nice little dude to be the way he is without it being a movie. And it totally breaks the movie for me. Like, I'm like, I know this is a movie. It isn't. I don't get sucked into it thinking, oh, this guy and it's the same plot over and over and over again. In fact, sadly, I thought Jeremy Renner did a better job because he doesn't look like the nicest guy in the world like Matt Damon does. So yeah, Jack Bauer looks like a badass. Jason Bourne doesn't. He looks like, oh, here's a puppy. Here's a flower. Thoughts on Game of Thrones ending at season 8? Too soon. It's too soon. I didn't want to be reminded of that, but thanks. And thanks to all your content and work on Australia's and Nostalgia Critic 2016. Thank you, Simon, very much. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be working as an official part of Channel Awesome. I'm trying to. Anyways,
oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be great. Unfortunately, they're up in Chicago, but I have green screens. No problem. Favorite Snyder movie? Dark Knight, I think. He directed Dark Knight, didn't he?
No, that's Christopher Nolan.
Is that? Oh, okay. Dang it, I don't know. Man of Steel was pretty good, but I don't really. Oh wait, he did some of the X-Men movies. I forget which one. See, I don't really keep up with the kind of stuff. I have to do my research ahead of time, and I don't feel like doing that. I've got other things. I got multiple careers, guys. I got a full family. There's 6 people living in this house, counting me, and I have a voice acting career to keep up with, and make my own YouTube content, and do all this other stuff for all these guys who do like movie, TV stuff all day long. So it's almost impossible for me to remember everything. Best worst Steven Spielberg movie? Oh no, I don't know. Is it like directing or producing? Because you could say the Transformers. It had its moments that I didn't care for. I did not say as being a Hasbro employee. Favorite not. See, you guys are asking me all these people's movies. I don't know. Favorite Rob Schneider movie has got to be Princess Bride. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to take the Lord's name in vain ever. What about Watchmen? It was directed by... No, I didn't really care for Watchmen as much. I mean, visually it was stunning, and it was super, super moody and dark, but I just didn't care for the little girl getting eaten by the dog and thrown in the furnace thing. Having a little girl just made me... I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. That was a little too dark for my taste. The most average movie ever. You watched any of Adam Sandler's movies? They're pretty average. Yes, Baby Dick will be returning in 2017. Do you think he was gone? No, he hasn't grown up yet. The Hulk hum the theme song of Doug in your epic voice? No. Oh, geez, I don't even remember. Favorite? Stop asking me questions of things I don't know. Have I ever cosplayed? I did dress up as Kingpin from the Daredevil Netflix series Comic-Con 2 years ago. Because it was so simple. All I had to do was shave my head and face and wear a black suit. And that's pretty much all I had to do. I'm going to move the screen where it doesn't look like I'm looking above you guys. That way I can read your comments and it doesn't look like I'm looking far, far away from the screen. There we go. The weight loss thing it's progressing. I'm a little disappointed because I was supposed to wait in at the gym Friday, but we had this massive winter storm come in and I couldn't leave. The roads were too bad. But I weighed on my own at home and it looks like I gained 2 pounds over the last 2 months instead of losing. I was at 265 and then I'm up to 267 and that kind of takes me off. So. Obviously, I have plans to do more TF Voice and Combiner Wars if they will have me back. I am, I've been doing other cool stuff for them. No, I have not seen BoJack Horseman. I've heard lots of things about it. No, Toy Story 4 should not happen. Oh, thank you, David. Appreciate it. Do I play mobile phone games? I play Transformers Earth Wars, and the XCOM that you can hear me in is actually on iTunes. I don't know if it's on Android. I don't know. Google Play, I mean. No, I've not seen Godzilla Resurgence or whatever. Godzilla something. I know it's something. What is it called again?
Shin Godzilla?
Yeah, Shin Godzilla. I've not seen that one, though.
I've seen half of it.
No, I haven't seen it yet. Notable voice acting roles that you're working on these days. I'm not allowed to say that, unfortunately. I just booked a really cool Marvel game that I'm such a big fan of the people that I'm working with. And I saw a famous voice actress that you would all know very much from a Disney XD cartoon walking out of the studio as I was going in. But I can't say. It's called non-disclosure agreements, and you can get in big, big trouble for talking about them early. So, sorry. One comes out the end of February. I don't know the release date for the other. But you can hear me in Dishonored 2. That's a pretty big game. You can kill me all kinds of different ways. In fact, Flitz and Lasercorn stabbed me in the throat in one of their episodes. So I was like, yeah, that's me that they just killed. Could I say anything as Jack Nicholson? Well, let me tell you something, Simon. I don't think you can handle the truth. Favorite Batman movie? Dark Knight. Yep, absolutely. Actually, technically speaking, Dark Knight Returns is my favorite, but that's an animated movie, and I'll try to keep those two separate. Michael Bay or Zack Snyder? Snyder, probably. Because the shaky cams get on my nerves. I've already done some work on Kingsman 2, so from what I have saw, I'm already psyched. I will say this: you will not see what's coming. I'll just put it to you that way, and that's just from the little bit that I saw. Do I want another Assassin's Creed movie? I hated the first one. I want to see another one. Jeez, if I have to see that stupid eagle one more time. Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler? Jim Carrey. And even at their age today, I still think Jim Carrey is funnier than Adam Sandler. Any plans in the works for my LA trip? Well, there may or may not be a Screen Junkies Club that I'll actually be a part of. I haven't found out final approval yet or not, but we'll see. Am I going to watch Transformers The Last Night? As a Hasbro employee, I can firmly say I will be seeing the Transformers The Last Night. It will be the greatest movie ever made. Lego Movie or Big Hero 6? Ouch, that's a tough one. I think Lego Movie. I think Lego Movie because it's funnier, and I like Chris Pratt's performance in that. Say hi to your mother for me. What's your idea of Spawn and Batman crossover? Won't ever happen. It'd be great, but it won't ever happen. Say my name, Ali Balak. Or Balosh. Is it Balosh, like in Indiana Jones? Belloc. I think Zack Snyder's movies don't have any emotions versus Michael Bay. Yeah, but Michael Bay shakes the camera around and what's the word I'm looking for? He with women, the thing. My brain is farting. He objectifies women. He demeans minorities. Come on. Zack Snyder doesn't do that stuff. Favorite animal? I don't know. White tiger, I guess. I kind of look like the kingpin. Well, I look a lot thinner than the kingpin now. I'm 50 pounds down. What's up, Snartleflesh? What a great name. Will I participate in movie fights again if they'll have me back? I'd be glad to. Say my name in your epic voice. My name in your epic voice. You should learn about how to write those. Moonlight or La La Land. See, I didn't see either of those. That's why I didn't put them in my best and worst of it. That's why I mentioned of the movies that I saw. I've heard great things about La La Land. I haven't had a chance to see it. And some of these fancier movies, these Oscar fodder stuff, they only play at limited theaters. And in Memphis, we already don't have a whole lot of theaters. So please make an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. Listen to me, player. I've already done it earlier. You should have been here. Where were you? Come on, get down. Give me your hand. You can do it. I'm not in danger. I am the danger. The biggest bright idea of Michael Bay was to use Megan Fox. No, it wasn't. She's a terrible actor. He only put her in there for 3 reasons. 1, 2, and 3. A dream job like character or franchise. Well, obviously being a main character in a Transformers animated series or the main character in one of the Transformers video games, I would both be thrilled. Kubo, I don't care how many of you hated on me for it. Kubo was freaking great. And it's not just because it was all the hard work that they put into animating everything frame by frame. It had a great story. It sucked me in so quick. And yes, I do agree with those people who said the ending, though. Yeah, the ending was a little, touchy, feely, huggy. Let's all be friends. But otherwise, it was a really, it started off the bat. If you look away, our hero will surely die. It was a great film. And I didn't even realize that was Matthew McConaughey until halfway through the movie. I'm like, man, he actually did a good job. Yes, I can, Kurum. Transform and roll out. What does doing voices strain your vocal cords? It depends on what kind of work. Usually the video game stuff. Yeah, that stuff's brutal. Can be, anyway. Who's laughing in the studio? That's my Patreon supporter, Bill Warren, who's
Hi. How you doing?
You supported me. You could be in here and chatting with me live, and all of these people could be seeing you too. The voice in XCOM 2, yes, that's one of many that I've done. I'm also the final boss in XCOM 1 and 2, if you can get to the end of the game. Difficult to come up with a new voice on the spot? No, not really. That's part of my job. Every day they send me auditions, and they give a description, and I have to come up with a voice, and usually I only have a few minutes to get it done. Barney or SpongeBob? Are you kidding me? Ugh, Barney was way more annoying than SpongeBob was. Alien or Predator, which is better? Predator. Come on.
Definitely.
Aliens are such one-dimensional creatures. Predators have personality and gadgets and stuff, man. They have, like, my favorite thing about James Bond. They have gadgets.
They're not very good at their job, though.
But we don't see all the millions of time where they win. We've only seen the times where they've lost. Can you name random food ingredients in my epic voice? Perhaps another time, Phasmatron. Worst Marvel movie? Oh, that's a good question. Well, it just depends if you're talking about Marvel properties or Marvel Studios movies, because Fantastic Four has got to be one of the worst Marvel movies ever. And that includes X-Men 3 and Iron Man 3. Can I do Robin Williams? I can do Robin Williams, but I prefer not to. It's mainly because he passed away not too long ago. Can I do a girly epic voice? No, I don't know what a girly epic voice. I guess if I just made it sound more feminine and more S's. The epic voice of Honest Trailers. It sounds like an old smoker lady now, though. I'm real when it's useful. Can I do Yosemite Sam? I don't know who Yosemite Sam is. I'm just being hard on you. You didn't spell it right. Can I say no in Darth Vader's voice? Not without blowing the mic out. Absolutely not. Worst Marvel movie is Roger Corman Fantastic Four. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Collider presents in association with the Schmoes Know Show of a Bryan Singer film. Don't ask. Is this Predator just a drunk dentist on safari? I don't think so. He doesn't go after teeth. He goes after spines, bro. I am the man thing in your epic voice. Yeah, you should really not put that in your epic voice in the part you want me to say. After the word say, I'm going to say whatever it is. I thought, you know what? I was one of the few people who didn't hate X-Men 3. I thought that there was parts of it because we finally got to see Colossus. I thought that was awesome. Juggernaut was pretty awesome. Just saying. Can I do a John Goodman voice? Well, of course. I've actually had to fill in for John Goodman quite recently. Is there a voice character that I want to do? All the ones that pay. All of them. I've already done Keanu Reeves. And I said, whoa. The Citrus family includes kumquats. What's the most overrated TV show? Overrated. Probably Walking Dead, because they build it up on television like it's the greatest thing ever. And sometimes it's not so great, even though I'm a huge fan and I really love the show. Besides season 2, there's always a few episodes that are kind of like, but there's on the whole, I think it's pretty good. Cough or sneeze? No. I love to stick around, but I got animation work. Go ahead, Narth. I'm looking for animators to collab with. If anybody wants to help me out, I have very simple animated ideas that I would providing the script and the editing for and the voices for. So if anybody wants to collab, you can find me on the facebook.com/epicvoiceguy. Send me a message. What about Nicolas Cage? I'm Batman. Buckle up, cream puffs. That's a weird one. Pikachu. It's not a boring soap opera. It's a soap opera with zombies, and the soap opera part's not that bad. I'm the Juggernaut. Be #Ch. No, I'm not going to sing "Let It Go." I have my daughter. I have her for that. So, is Nicolas Cage a bad actor? Is he a bad actor, or is he so good that he's acting bad on purpose? All right, Narth. Help me, Nevis. Hope I said that right. Have you done voice acting you regret doing now? Not really. I don't think so. I mean, as long as I get paid for it. I do voices for people who take advantage. Like they'll go to my Fiverr site saying, "Oh, and this is personal only. It's not for commercial use." And then they'll go and put it on the thing, and they'll say, "Oh, it's the honest way to do this." And they'll tag me in, and they'll tag Screen Junkies, and they'll tag. And I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa! You're gonna get me some serious trouble here. I'm not really supposed to do anything that's not officially sponsored by Honest Trailers or Screen Junkies, because they don't want to think that it's an officially Honest Trailer thing. And so when I'm doing these favors for fans, I'm like, this is just for you, nobody else. And people take advantage of that. So there are a few things I've recorded where I was trying to be a nice guy and people took advantage. So yeah, there are a few things I regret. Too much pink energy is dangerous. The most underrated movie of 2016. Oh, that's a good question, Larry. Man, I'd have to think about that. What do you think, Bill? An underrated movie?
Underrated. I didn't see many movies last year, except I toned down the amount of movies that Bad Moms, actually. Bad Moms was very underrated. It was actually really funny. And everybody keeps hating on me for loving Mike and Dave Wedding Days. It really is funny. Maybe you should just give it a check. Overrated, I think. I don't want to say, because there's a lot of movies that I worked for doing stuff for, and I don't know if I get in trouble by saying anything or not. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? It's got to be Return of the Jedi, and everybody hates me for not. What? It's not Empire. What? That's always been my favorite too. Return of the Jedi.
That was the first one I saw. Well, actually, I saw them out of order. I saw Empire first, and I was like, I don't like this. It's sad. And then I saw Return of the Jedi, and I was like, oh, this movie has a happy ending. I like this movie better. And then I saw them in order, and I was like, oh, okay, well, Return of the Jedi it was basically parts New Hope. So I saw it in Return of the Jedi first, so it wasn't like, oh, they just did what they did. In my head, I'm thinking, because I was a kid at the time, in my head, I'm thinking, well, they just did New Hope, what they did in Return of the Jedi. So I had them backwards. Why?
Well, I like it because it wraps everything up.
In the childhood Honest Trailers. They wanted to keep it like the original trailer for childhood. That, a lot of trailers these days have no voice in them whatsoever. But that one got a copyright strike and was taken down. So... I don't think Kubo's underrated. I don't think so. I think most of the people that I know, besides the haters and on the trolls on the internet, who literally only comment because they disagree with me and they have the buffer of the internet to make it look like they're brave, or disagree with me about Kubo was a great film, and most people just freaking loved it. My kids want to watch it over and over and over again. Bad Moms, but Mike and Dave. I like both. Bad Moms, I think you have to be a particular age. I think you need to be either a daughter that's very close with her mom, or you need to be a mom, or be in tune with moms, which I am, because I've got a wife of 4 kids. Classic rock. Yeah, the 80s stuff I do. Big fan of the 80s. Journey, all that good stuff. Do you like Cthulhu, Lovecraft? Other than having to say his name, I think the character's overall look is pretty cool. Actually, I'm not a bad artist. As far as drawing stuff, I mean, I'm already a voiceover artist, but one of the 2 jobs I wanted to be in when I was a kid was either a voice actor or a storyboard artist or whatever. So I used to draw pretty well, and I drew this character that was very similar to Cthulhu, except he had more of a squid-shaped head rather than an octopus-shaped head. And he had this very Batman-type style to him, but with the octopus face. And I was like, that's a pretty cool-looking character. And then somebody came up with Cthulhu, which we don't really have an official pronunciation for where this guy's world is from or whatever. So we had trouble with that in the All Me Cthulhu. I forget what they made for that fan, but Cthulhu something. Favorite Adam Sandler movie? Oh, I hate you. You know what? I'm gonna have to say Click, because Click was the first time that really made me think about what really is important in life, and it was not because it was a funny movie. Christopher Walken was hilarious, by the way. But it was more of a family. Like the message was what really hit home with me, and B, that's kind of what made me think I really got to do something about my weight. I should start getting in shape. We can do the Gulliver's Precious. Star Wars: The Clone Wars or Star Wars Rebels? Star Wars Rebels. Oh, Clone Wars. That's tough, man. I like them both equally, and they are part of the same show. So get to the schnitzel. No, I'm not saying all the bad things. Don't ask me to say dirty words, because you guys should know my policy on that kind of stuff. The voice that's most difficult to do, we call them the throat rippers, the ones that are way down here. Because if you get in a video game and you have to do that, and you could tear your throat apart. Do I speak any second language? Igpe Atenley. Does that count? Schneider movie's got to be Princess Bride. Multiple South Park voices. There's no time. It's no time. It's back my channel. When you fly to the new time zone, then you time travel. Yeah, you know, it's kind of true, because it makes it look like a 4.5-hour flight only lasts 2 hours. Have I ever worked with Gary Chalk? It's 2 R's, by the way. It's Garry. They haven't worked together technically, but he has done some voices in some YouTube things that I was part of, and I have sat on a panel with him, and we've done script readings together. So I think it's pretty cool. We're fairly good. We're what they call friendly acquaintances. We're friends in that regard. We're not best buddies or anything. I haven't watched Homeland yet. I've heard good things. No, I'm not excited for John Wick 2 because I didn't like John Wick 1 that one. Thoughts on Starship Trooper? Babes. And oddly enough, that girl is actually very good friends with, she's one of like Tara Strong's besties, which is so funny. Do a Kenny impression. I forget which one's Kenny again, the one that can't talk. Favorite episode of any Transformers series? I really like the one where Optimus Prime sacrifices himself a second time. They find his body in the Quintessons, bring him back to life as a bad guy, and he ends up regaining consciousness long enough to blow himself up in order to save all of the Transformers. It's a pretty good episode. No, I have not seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since season 2, I think it was. I kind of give up on it. It just got bad. All right, 5 minutes till, folks, and I'm going to head out of here. Vikings is pretty good. It's more like PG-13 Game of Thrones, but it's still pretty bad. I mean, you know, bad, good. You know, bad in the day, you know, like in the 90s. When you said bad, it was good. But my favorite voice actor, oh, man, Peter Cullen, got to be the voice of Optimus Prime. In my time, we were not riding in cars. We were riding on dinosaurs. If I met any other actors from Starship Troopers at cons, I don't think so. I wouldn't know, probably. I can do lots of impressions, Lord. I just don't have time. Do I fear you? No. I fear nothing. Can I do Optimus Prime? I feel like J.K. Simmons. Wait, are you serious? My name is Optimus Prime, Horatio. You should really watch more of my content. Why start voice acting? Because it's the greatest job ever. People pay me to have fun. Flash or Arrow? Still Flash, but if they do one more time travel season. Yes, Black Mirror is my third favorite Netflix series. It almost got an honorable mention. It was pretty close, but Voltron was not just fun for me, it was also fun for my kids. So that's what barely put it over the top. Plus, there was a few episodes of Black Mirror where I was like, but most of them were freaking great. Terry Crews would be a good voice actor. He has been a voice actor. He's in Boondocks. I heard him in that. I'm pretty sure he's been in other stuff too. You're welcome, Toby. But I'd rather fly a TIE Fighter or X-Wing. TIE Fighter, man. TIE Fighters look crazy cool, and they're so much faster. They blow up a lot easier, but guilty pleasure movie, Moulin Rouge. Milk is a good source of calcium. It is, but I don't drink dairy anymore. Just drink the waters. Is an Optimus coming back evil in the premise of TLK? Well, I guess you'll just have to wait and see, won't you? I can't tell you things I know. What? Dark Shadows is the greatest Tim Burton movie ever. No, said no one ever. My next con, oh shoot, I don't know. I would totally promote that, but I don't honestly know. I will be back in Memphis for ABC I believe it's in June. I will be at Comic-Con. I will be at WonderCon. There's one I booked recently and I just forget when it was. I think it's pretty far off though. Any interest in Despicable Me? Not unless they hire me. Eum, your father, is something Dark Father never said. I don't know what Eum is. I think he was going to say I'm, but he added the A anyway. The Office or Parks and Rec? I was never really a big fan of either one. Like, who are they freaking talking to? Is there a documentary crew in these people's houses or offices or whatever? What other how many Transformers voiceovers have you done besides Combiner Wars? Officially, none. Well, I mean, I did the voice of Anakin for a Star Wars Transformers toy, but that's the only other, like, officially a Hasbro licensed thing that I've done voices for. I do a ton on my own, but that's just me. And I do a ton for other people. Are all voice actors as nice as John Bailey? I would say 99% of them are.
To the marks, Joker voice, please. I don't know if you can handle that. Worst Halloween movie.
Any of the Halloween movies besides the first one. And I mean Halloween, the movie, not Halloween in general. They're so pretty bad. I've given up on horror movies. They're almost always bad now. What music do I listen? How many times am I going to have to answer the music question?
Let's see. Movie soundtracks. Weird Al.
See, he even knows the answer to this.
There you go.
Someone wants me to do voice, Batman voice. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. I love Minions. I love Minions. See it, no one ever. I'm going to read it the way you write it, just so you know. No, I'm not going to say the Airbender thing again because somebody already asked that one. Best animation studio. That's a good question, man. That's hard. That's too hard to answer because I want to work for all of them. I already reviewed 10 Cloverfield Lane. I gave my thoughts on it, and it was a great movie. I just think they should have changed the name so that way it would have been a big twist at the end. That way you could be like, oh, it's Cloverfield. Whoa. Anyways, it was also my honorable mentions for best, was it thriller? I think I put it under that category. I think. I'm not sure. My voice is amazing. Aw, thank you. Best Spider-Man actor. From what we've actually seen in films, I would say Tobey Maguire's first performance, the first movie. Although I like Spider-Man 2, out of all the Spider-Man movies, Spider-Man 2, the first one, not Amazing Spider-Man 2, is still one of my favorite comic book movies of all time and the best Spider-Man movie that they've made so far. I think Tobey did a better job in the very first movie as Peter Parker, because I think by the second one, he looked like a 30-year-old. Make horror movies rated R again. Amen to that, Phasmatron. All right, 4 o'clock. Gotta go out of here. If anybody wants to go all the social things, it's at Epic Voice Guy on Facebook, at Epic Voice Guy on Instagram, where I do a lot of exclusive video content that's really good. You should watch it. And Twitter, at Epic Voice Guy. I have Snapchat, just don't use it that much. If you would like to support, and I would really appreciate it, just $1. If you want to be credited in the video description, just $1 a month on Patreon. And the more dollars you give, the longer this channel can last. Because if this channel doesn't do something big, or I get a lot more Patreon support, this channel's gone at the end of September. So you'll only be hearing me on other people's channels, and I won't be making any more content on my own anymore, which probably most of you would love anyway. You're welcome, all those people that are saying thank you. And I will be headed to LA on Thursday, I think it is, whatever the 12th is. And you won't be seeing me back in this room anymore unless I have to come back to this home to record something or to get the family ready to move. So after June, when the kids finish school, we'll all be out there. So it won't be here anymore. So anyways, follow the Epic Voice Guy and all this. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you can, click the bell so you get notifications about my stuff, because you guys don't really watch my videos very much. It makes my feelings, guys. Like, seriously, just watch my videos. And I know you guys are friends. You can share them with your friends. Cool. All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you when we see you. Till all are one.